So if you're finding yourself disorganized, you don't know what you want to post on a daily or on a regular basis, you're missing the ability to have a content calendar. Google Workspace is the key to it. I mean, to the point of when they onboard, the onboarding tool that I use says, okay, do you want to set up a workspace for this person? Yes, I do. Being able to implement systems in your workflow will help you not only, like I said, be consistent with content, but also with your team and also with your own time. Don't think that it has to be perfect. You're going to learn. My tool set has grown and iterated with me as we've grown. Welcome back, Bold Move Besties, to another episode of She Built Success. It only took us a season and a half, but we are back in the car because, you know, real life is real life. So today I wanted to come on and talk about the top 3 tools that I use daily in my tech stack. So the top 3, I'm going to tell you how I use them. So my top 3 are, of course, Airtable, followed by Google Workspace. And then the third is Zapier. Now, Zapier is like the silent partner. Zapier is, I use it, but I don't actively have to sit in the tool set to be able to use it. So I'm gonna tell you how. So typically for me, I have my CRM in Airtable. I have my content calendar in Airtable. And I have what's my third one that I wanted to mention? My team task in Airtable. So those are my top 3. And all of those have elements of automations using Zapier. So if you're finding yourself disorganized, you don't know what you want to post on a daily or on a regular basis, then more often than not, you're missing the ability to have a content calendar. So for us, the content calendar is inside of Airtable. And what I do with Zapier is the approval process and the workflow that goes into that. So my team does all the fun stuff of, putting things on the calendar, and then the graphics has to go through approval, copy has to go through approval. That is done via Airtable automations. But then we do have some that go via Slack. I didn't mention Slack, but okay, Slack is your bonus. Slack is your bonus because when things move through the workflow, they also get pushed to Slack if something needs feedback, or if I gave feedback on something, they'll go in and they'll try to update the asset based on the feedback. So if you're finding that for you, content is inconsistent, or you just don't know which platform you posted on for the week or for the month, having a content calendar in a tool like Airtable is beneficial. Now, I don't directly post from Airtable, but I do manage just what's in flight, what our pipeline looks like in terms of content via Airtable. Now, the second tool that I wanted to talk about was Zapier. So I said Zapier is kind of like the silent partner in it all. Zapier does a lot of the behind the scenes elements. So for instance, for the podcast, we have guests that come on and book. Well, when they book, I won't mention that tool because that's going to be a bit too many tools. But when they book, there is a zap that tells the She Built Success team that somebody booked, a guest booked, and they are now available in the Airtable base to, go through the guest process. I use Zapier to do that communication. And it's all seamless from when they book all the way through to when they're actually on the show. And it's pretty cool to me because Zapier is the least talked about in terms of automation, but has the most power behind it. I mean, I've talked about my brain dumps before where I come in and I just jot stuff down and it goes over into my Airtable. I use behind the scenes, a silent partner, that's Zapier. Let me see what else I use Zapier for. Zapier is also used for some of my workflows in terms of, okay, if I need to be notified on a quarterly basis of certain things, and there's triggers and all that fun stuff. I'm not going to get into the details because it's going to probably bore you, but it allows me to say, okay, yep, I have this to do this quarter, and I run through my checklist of things. So it's a silent partner, but it still has a lot of juice behind it in terms of being able to keep things automated, organized, and in a central location. I forgot what I just said my third tool was. What did I say my third tool was? I don't know.
You did. It was, hold on, I'll tell you right here.
We're going to find it out. Hang tight. We got Jay in the back and Ariel. Oh yeah, Google Workspace. Well, y'all. Okay, so the whole the whole ecosystem of what I'm using. So when a team member comes onto the team, everybody gets a Google Workspace email from my company, and everything is associated to that. So Airtable, Zapier, any SaaS products, software products that we're using, Google Workspace is the key to it. I mean, to the point of when they onboard, the onboarding tool that I use says, okay, do you want to set up a workspace for this person? Yes, I do. And we set up the Google Workspace email, and everything that they use within the company is associated to that. So Google Workspace, and that encompasses email, that encompasses shared drive space, that encompasses, a personal drive on Google Drive, and all the tools that come with Google Workspace. So there wouldn't be the integration between SaaS and email if it wasn't for Google Workspace. So that is the third tool that is used on a daily basis. So just not just Gmail, but also to use it as like logon credentials and whatnot to the various other software tools that we use within the company. So between Airtable, Google Workspace, and Zapier, I would say those are my top three. The bonus, like I said, was Slack. And that's like for communications with the team. But I think that when you're looking to be consistent in content, be consistent with your team, because I was talking earlier about the team Airtable. I created a base where basically all tasks and things that happen or even recurring things go into this Airtable base, and it notifies the team if it's a recurring thing or if it's a one-off thing. It's a way that everybody knows who's working on what, when it's due by. If something is late, it flags. And it's like, it allows you to be aware of at a glance where the team is or where projects are, and whether or not you're on time or running behind. So being able to implement systems in your workflow with tools like Airtable will help you not only, like I said, be consistent with content, but also with your team and also with your own time and your time management. So you know that you're not digging in envelopes and folders and files, physical files, looking for stuff. You can put it in a tool set that allows you to single-handedly say, okay, yep, I know this is here. Like, oh, here's a fun bonus. So for Airtable, if you use Google Drive, you can actually catalog all the files as they're created. So let's say all the files in your Google Drive. So if you wanted to, you have a shared drive where, let's say you post all your social assets that you're going to at some point in time use, you can in Airtable hook it up so that you're able to see everything there as it's added, or if it's deleted, it goes away. So that's something that you can think about if it's in your wheelhouse. And if it's not, that's okay. I just wanted to give you some insights into some of the ways that I actually go about automating and using workflows within my business and what that looks like. So if you have questions on automation, like I would say, don't overdo it. I think sometimes I'm probably an exception sometimes to that because I automate the crap out of everything. At least I try to anyway. But if you are just starting, I would say focus on your content calendar first, especially if you want to get consistent with that. Then move it out to the CRM, right? So that's your customer relationship management system. That's the relationships that you're building. And then if you have team members, you can do the team component, but pick one first and implement the one, even if it's simple. I mean, Airtable comes with like templates that you can use. Granted, I've customized all of mine to the needs for the company, but you customize it how you want, or you can just use a template that's there. So don't think that, it has to be perfect the first time. You're going to learn. My tool set has grown and iterated with me as we've grown. And so yours you may just be starting. You may be, in it for a number of years. And you're like, well, I got stuff everywhere. Where do I go? Just hit me up in the DMs. I got you. Or leave a comment and I can hopefully help reach out and assist with what that would potentially look like for your business. But yeah, you have to start somewhere. So those are my top 3 tools: Airtable, Google Workspace, and Crappers. Hold on. Airtable, Google Workspace, and Zapier, the silent partner, and then the bonus was Slack. All right, y'all. Until next time, I'll catch you on the next episode of She Built Success. Deuces.